Mostly strong women leaders, they are often labeled as aggressive, as bossy, as rude.
This is coming from the conditioning, what we see as a culture, and women are supposed to be nice and they need to be soft and they need to be in a certain way, right? So men are used to seeing that, and even women are used to seeing that.
Can introverts be good leaders?
I'll tell you, people love it because introverts are very good listeners. They listen to you, they understand you, and they give very good advice.
Women face barriers even at the entry level, right? The first promotion, the first hiring bias, that is where it all begins. Did you ever feel that you had to prove yourself more than your male counterparts?
It is unfortunately, yes, we have to prove. Yeah, I would like to take a case in corporate also. Indra Nui said that she double prepares for any meeting.
So there's this KPMG research, Women in Leadership in Corporate India, and that says that only 30% or less number of women who enter a company at the entry level, so less than 30% rise to a leadership role, whereas this number is significantly higher for men. More percentage of men who go through the entry level, they manage to become leaders.
And this is so true.
Today's guest is not just an accomplished business leader, but also a dear friend and someone I admire deeply for her vision, empathy, and authenticity. Meet Deepthi Devarakonda, Senior Director of Analytics at Evolent, with nearly 2 decades of experience transforming complex data into insights that drive real business impact. But what truly sets Deepthi apart is her commitment to people first leadership, building inclusive teams, nurturing talent, and guiding women to step into their full potential with clarity and confidence. Deepthi is deeply passionate about helping women navigate the real, messy challenges of career growth, from office politics and negotiating better opportunities to overcoming imposter syndrome and balancing ambitious careers with family life. Her approach blends strategy, mindset, and real world wisdom, making it both relatable and actionable for women who want to get promoted faster without burnout. Beyond her career achievements, she is a dedicated mother, a mentor, and someone who believes that real growth comes from staying curious, courageous, and true to yourself. She's also a friend, she's also a fellow mentor, and I have known Deepthi for several years now, and I'm always amazed by her journey. So today we are here talking about some topics which all the women want to know about, right? So before we start, Deepthi, thank you for being here. Welcome to this podcast today.
Yeah, I'm excited, and you are also one of my favorite therapist, coach, and whatnot, and friend. So I'm very excited to be here and would like to share my perspective. And I hope this podcast helps many other women too to grow in their leadership career growth. So I'm really excited. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here, and I'm super excited. And I can't wait to start asking you all the questions. Everything that I have always discussed with you, we've discussed it offline so many times. And now here we are talking about it so that more people can benefit from this. So tell me, Deepthi, mostly strong women leaders, they are often labeled as aggressive, as bossy, as rude. So, well, while these same traits, when displayed by a male leader, they are considered okay. They are considered as, strength or leadership qualities. So why do you think this difference is there, and what have you felt in your journey?
Okay, so according to me, I think these traits are can be common across both the genders, right? And it's all about personality. It is nothing to do with generalization of men and women. That okay, this is something which is only for these traits are only for men. These traits are only for women. This is coming from the conditioning, what we see as a culture, and women are supposed to be nice and they need to be soft and they need to be in a certain way, right? So men are used to seeing that, and even women are used to seeing that. It's not just men are looking at this, but I have seen women herself questioning when she's little bit strong, and then she asks this question. Because I do also mentor, and I see this and hear this quite often, that am I sounding bossy? Am I sounding too much? And these phrases, I believe are coming from our own beliefs, right? First, definitely society, culture, all these play a role to form these beliefs. We need to understand we have this belief first. And one of the things we need to do is that break this from us, like, from what we believe, and then also educate others, and including men, not just men, it's also women, to tell or to show that it's okay to be strong. It's okay to be a little bit aggressive. It is okay to be bossy at times. But I believe these traits can be both extremes in women and men. I don't believe in differentiating the traits part of it. But what I think we should work on is more of educating people in seeing and not generalizing this. Right? And that there is the thin line. Because there are strong, there are bossy women and there are aggressive women, which shouldn't be the case where it is negative trait or where it is toxic. So anything going into extremes is not encouraged. Neither it should be encouraged for a woman, neither it should be encouraged to the men. What I believe is, yes, that self-doubt of, am I being too much? Am I being too aggressive? And you're not. That is something which we need to address.
Right. So how do you say a woman who is constantly having this question, like you mentioned, you also sometimes, ask yourself, am I being too much? So how do you deal with that self-doubt when it comes for you?
Yeah, one of the things I deal with is awareness firstly. Like, we all come with our own fears, self-doubt, and as a kid, as a childhood, and you are a childhood therapist as well, you know that we carry a lot of baggage ourselves, right? And that is where we need to start with having more self-awareness on why do we do feel that self-doubt, and what is causing it, addressing that root cause. And starts with awareness, starts with addressing that slowly, and then going out in the world with a fresh perspective, and then dealing with this kind of once you show with your new self, where you are not having self-doubt on your capabilities, the other person starts seeing you that way. And that is where you create a change. And slowly they will also see that, okay, she is strong. And that is a strength, not a toxic trait. Is sounding bold, courageous, and they will say it's not bossy. She's courage. They will also start changing their own definition, because you are going with that conviction, because you are going with that change version of your own self. Because I've seen, you know about vibrations, you know about how we vibe, right? If we have questions on our own self, and if we self-doubt, that will reflect, and that will give a different impression. But we ourselves hold space for us and then go and communicate, people will start perceiving you that way. So that is first. And second is educating. Many people may not know, they also are coming with their own baggage. They are also coming with their own perception of the world. They are also conditioned with culture, societal norms. Educating them that how you are open-minded, strong, in an indirect way, not a direct way, but you are communicating that way, not making other person uncomfortable. So, and educating them, I am there for you. I am here to support you. I am not here to take away anything. I am here to give. So that kind of impression makes other person also trust in you, and hold that space for you, that okay, she's here not to threaten me, but to collaborate with me, but to be there for me. So that is how I look at that.
That was actually a brilliant answer. Actually, you covered both sides of it. One is the societal bias and one is the internal dialogue that we have, right? So when we are coming from a space of self belief, then our strength is inclusive, right? But when we are coming from self doubt, then that strength actually comes across more as aggression and not as strength, because we are also coming from an internal doubt and trying to prove too much. Yeah. So I think, yeah, that's a brilliant perspective, and I hope people will be able to take, get more awareness with this perspective. So another question which, always I notice in so many women I work with, and I've also reflected a lot on this, that, women always feel this unspoken pressure to adapt to masculine norms of leadership, right? In either it's in communication or in their social behavior. And it also means that they have to avoid displaying feminine traits like empathy, intuition, nurturing, which are, by the way, very important leadership skills, but they are very undervalued. So this need to be one of the boys or be like the men, you know. What do you think about this?
This is really good question, and I have been through this, and I have been a person who was following a lot of male role models, and nothing wrong in that. It is really good to follow that, and but one of the things I realized was I was not being me at one point of time, because I was thinking that that style is something which is common across the leadership, because it was the same thing which a male was displaying was not acceptable in female, right? We discuss about being bossy, aggressive and all, right? So I thought, like, okay, what is my style, right? And who am I? And I've written a very important post on LinkedIn on this masculine and female, feminine energy, and that is what I understood deeply. I had few qualities like empathy and being sensitive and emotional, which was always considered as weak point. As if I'm emotional, then I cannot be a leader. And people also used to be sharing this kind of thought with me, like, if you're too emotional, you cannot lead. You need to put up a strong face in front of people, right? And I used to do that, but I think that it was not me. I was not authentically made like that. And when I started embracing my own feminine energies, which is being soft and being calm and being nurturing and being empathetic, those qualities actually gave an edge to my leadership, which I realized later. I had those qualities which once upon a time was weakness, today became my strengths. And I only could do that when I started applying my feminine energy more. And also having masculine, it is great to have masculine where you are action oriented, where you are doing a lot of things and all that. But feminine energy is also about holding space, it's also about allowing things to happen. And thereon you are realizing certain things. So empathy helped me go into some the team members, actually understanding them without them making much effort, because they are sensitive and they know other side of the feelings. And that helped me create much more good bond and trust among the team members also, where they knew that I was transparent, I am transparent, I am showing genuine feelings towards them, and that is what they are getting from me. That increases credibility, visibility, trust, which is very important, right? And that holds space for connection, right? Without empathy, without having that emotional connection, you don't feel that connection, right? And that is what I think I offer, because of that understanding my own feminine energy. And it's also true for men. Men also have masculine and feminine energies in them, and most of the times I see that men don't share emotions, right? And that will not hold the space for that connection, and they also need to embrace their own feminine energy to get that. So uh, I think yes, we need to work on embracing our own witches qualities
Hmm.
and convert them into our strengths, and that's what worked for me.
Yeah, yeah. So you were able to see that shift for yourself once you understood that what is considered as weakness is actually not a weakness, right? But
Yeah.
how do more women embrace their feminine energy and lead authentically?
I think firstly they should know themselves.
Hmm.
What are their strengths? Like I said, I
Yeah.
identified my strengths,
Hmm.
right? Sometimes what happens due to the conditioning and due to people constantly telling them, oh no, you should not be so and so, so we
Hmm.
lose ourselves
Yeah.
somewhere
Yeah.
during that process. So I think regaining your childhood, I think childhood gives lot of perspective, like how
Hmm.
you were as a kid,
Yeah.
what kind of qualities you had as a kid, and are you embracing those qualities now, or you have lost those qualities. I mean, you definitely need to improve, that is a different thing, but lot of hints you get from your childhood. So go back to your childhood, what are the things you were doing, what did you lose, try to gain that through this process. Get help from coaches and mentor, because what happened with me was I alone was not able to figure out, so I always took help of mentoring, coaching, and took external help to understand myself more, because coaching techniques help others to ask questions to ourselves, which we can't do alone sometimes. So getting deeper insight to us, getting to know what is something which are our traits, and can we convert that into our strengths, right, instead of suppressing them, or instead of mimicking others, who, like, this is the biggest mistake people do, like, mimicking others as it is and thinking that that is something which is going to work.
Hmm.
But we have to think what works for us first, what are our strength, and then doubling on that is something which will help you go much more faster than just copying someone else. So knowing
Actually.
yourself, I would say,
Hmm.
is the best way to start with.
I think that's a brilliant point that you made here. Don't mimic others, because I have seen so many people, not only women, that they look at other people and they try to imitate them, but
Yeah,
their strengths are not your strengths, right?
correct.
So you have to be aware of what works for you, what is your unique strength, and how
Yeah,
you can enhance that instead of just looking at other people and feeling that I don't match up, because maybe what is a strength for them that might be your weakness, right?
exactly.
Hmm.
And that happened. It's a true story which happened with me. That
Hmm.
when I started, I also fall into that, like, thing which I did, where I mimicked other leaders and tried to follow that, and it didn't work with me. And the day I, started using my own strengths, I stood out.
Hmm.
I stood out. And that's what I would like to tell everyone, and that's all about it's, somewhere there in your childhood, somewhere there in your personality, but you can regain that and try to
Yeah,
use that.
yeah. Awesome, awesome. So tell me one thing, Deepthi, like you are, a leader who has really grown very fast in your career. So there are a lot of informal, networking which happens and informal bonding which happens. A lot of time women feel that they miss out on the opportunity in these informal networks, because most of these networks are like the boys club, unsaid boys club, where they'll hang out for a smoke break, or there'll be after office parties, and women usually are more focused on completing their work and going home, because they need to take care of homes as well. But in that process they miss out on some opportunities and that networking. So what is your take on this, and how do you navigate the situation?
Yeah, and a really good question. Many women do lose out on networking opportunities because of not connecting,
Hmm.
but I do understand why.
Hmm.
Right? It's also with lot of things and responsibilities and duties which women do carry, and right, we are not yet ready for women to be there everywhere. She's actually asked to be taken care of the household, all other things. So we definitely think that it's not that easy for women. That's what we need to acknowledge. But at the same time, we also know that we cannot be part of every event, and as a woman, because we have all lot of responsibilities. That doesn't mean that you are losing opportunities just because you are not going for a smoke break, or just because you're skipping certain office parties. That doesn't mean that you're missing opportunities. So how I deal with that, I can say that firstly, it is firstly choice. Okay. Now someone who loves to party and loves to connect with people, they should definitely do that, and they should take time for doing that, right? However, someone who is not interested but doing for the sake of networking is going to be very much burdensome for them. So definitely it should not be a burdensome. Now, how we do that without feeling the burden of just going and connecting, right, in this forum? So how I do is that I prioritize connection, events, going to events in my own time. If I prioritize based on, okay, today I have to give time to my kid, or today I have to give time to my household, and this today I have to give time to go to events and connect, right? It may sound very formal, but the thing is that we should know that as human beings we have limited energy, and our brain capacity is also limited. Our energies are very limited. So we need to be wise to choose where, and especially women, right? Because I told you about the responsibility. She's everywhere, right? Taking care of household, work, kids. So having that energy spent in right time and right amount and right way is very important, right? So choosing what event to attend, when to attend, and how to connect is your choice. You can attend office parties, you can go to smoke breaks also, you can go to different other networking. However, it should be very much consciously done, so that you are not losing your energy. And also the second part is scheduling, right? What happens is, like you said, we get caught up with a lot of things. But if you don't schedule it, you won't be able to go there. So when it is right time and right, whenever you feel that it is now time to go, you need to schedule and you need to go. So that is how I manage all the things. And I don't think I'm falling short of attending any events or any important office parties also. So I am able to do because of this.
Right. So absolutely, like you said, ki networking is important, but you have to be intentional about it. What is working for you, so that it doesn't become like a burden for you. So that rhythm you have to find for yourself. And yes, it will take some effort, because I know personally you take a lot of effort. Like you are giving 2 hours of your time on a weekend for this podcast. Yesterday also you had some events, and on top of it you are mentoring women in your office. So you are wearing several hats, and you are able to give time. And I understand that you are a master at scheduling things and prioritizing things.
Yes. Without prioritizing, without scheduling, things won't happen. And everyone is different. Like, again, you cannot copy someone else's. Like, I see this lot, and that's why this burnout also happens. That, okay, this person is attending so much events, and maybe I'm missing out, the FOMO thing, right? Like, everybody would feel that, okay, I'm missing out this event, I'll miss out on opportunity. And in fact, I think opposite way, that if I'm not 100% there, if I'm worrying about my kid or worrying about something else, I'm not giving 100%. Even if you're there, you're not networking right. The purpose is to have that connection with people and to network right? And it's not about also, just taking, right? You're not there to get something. You're also there to give something. And if you are not having that energy, and if you are not present 100% there, you're not giving anything, right? It's give and take.
Yeah.
Any connection is give and take.
True. Perfect. So tell me, so also tell me in this same, like you said, there's some leaders, they are not very outgoing. For some people, going to parties might be their thing, right?
Hmm.
So taking a clue from that, I always have this question that people who are by nature introverts, because I work with a lot of leaders who call themselves introvert, and then they feel that, because I am an introvert, how can I actually connect with other people, and how can I, network well? So, can introverts, first of my question is, can introverts be good leaders, and how?
Okay, so I will ask Ritu to you. Do you find me as an introvert or an extrovert?
I think
Very
you
good,
you
because
you are an extrovert.
yeah. So I'm not an extrovert. I
Wow.
began with an introvert, and I'm still not an extrovert. And you can say I'm an ambivert now.
Hmm.
And I don't like to get exposed in a large crowd. I don't like lot of events. I don't like lot of surrounded by people. I like sometimes space, but at the same time,
Hmm.
I like being around, surrounded by people when I feel like, right? So definitely, I'm not an extrovert. I seem to an extrovert, and not only just Ritu, you. There are many people have told me that I am an extrovert today,
Wow.
right? And that only happened because of my prioritization and scheduling. Like I said, right? An introvert can do these things, and like I said, as a trait, I don't like it, but these are all things which are acquired skills. It's not that you cannot acquire, and acquired skills always need a particular energy or particular time, right? And to create that space, you need to know how to schedule, how to prioritize, so that you take time for that. And when you give time, it should be 100%, right? So that is what has helped me, being an introvert. Today I'm able to be there at places, and introverts, my daughter is also an introvert. They are very good listeners. They are very good in understand in hearing people out, and giving the certain things which are kind of valuable as well. It's not that they don't have anything to offer. So, firstly, we need to be very proud of being introvert, and we need to stick to that style, but in a different way, where you are giving in your own introvert style, and people love it. I'll tell you, people love it because you introverts are very good listeners. They listen to you, they understand you, and they give very good advice. So, yeah, being introvert is a gift. You just need to acquire how to communicate and when to communicate, and how you communicate. These are the three things you can take care. So, yeah.
Awesome. So there is a lot of hope for all the introverts out there. It's not a weakness. It is a personality type. It is a part of your personality. And like Deepthi said, it has a lot of positive aspects to it. Whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, both of you have a different style of connecting with people. So if you feel you are an introvert, find your rhythm, right? Find your unique way of connecting. And like Deepthi also mentioned, you have a unique quality of having deeper conversations, of listening deeply to people. And I think that can help you create much better relationships. So don't take this personality trait as a negative. It's definitely a positive. Yeah. So coming to this whole question, this whole discussion, we keep hearing that a lot of people talk about the glass ceiling, but what many don't realize is that women face barriers even at the entry level, right? The first promotion, the first hiring bias, that is where it all begins. So let's rewind to your early days. And did you ever feel that you had to prove yourself more than your male counterparts? And how did you perform in your early days in your career?
Yeah, I mean, this is really important question, and it's 100% true that woman has to prove more than men, and even Indra Nui has says the same thing that she has to prove. But I always see this in a very positive thing as well. So I remember the days when there used to be a lot of speculation on driving, women driving, right? And especially when there is a car going in front of you and it hits something, or there is something going wrong. I remember those days where always they used to say the statement, "Oh, maybe woman is driving," right?
Yeah.
Why this was happening was because men or even women or anybody never saw women driving a car before. And they always thought that, it might not be possible, right? However, today, Ritu, I ask this question to you. Do you hear this a lot?
No, I don't. And you're right. I've heard that earlier one also.
Yeah. Today we don't hear.
Yeah.
Because they already proved themselves that they are very good drivers. And there is a research that women, parks the car very efficiently
Wow.
than men as well. So the thing is that they have proven, and it is unfortunately, yes, we have to prove. However, even I would like to take a case in corporate also. Like, Indra Nui said that she double prepares for any meeting, and she makes sure that she is acing the subject she is into, like whatever domain or whatever work she is doing. She tries to ace it by doing her homework thoroughly, right? Reading every book, reading everything which comes in that zone, right? So she says, oh, over preparation. She does that, right? But I say that that is something we have to do, because culturally there are some perceptions built, like woman is not capable of doing so and so things, and we have to prove that. But this is something which also gives credibility. Once you prove, you just have to maintain that credibility. You don't have to prove again and again. And many women, as women, we are making a mistake of proving again and again the same thing. So I would think that yes, it's a unfortunate thing that we have to prove, but the positive thing about it is, once you prove, you build a strong credibility that you're not just going back, but you just have to maintain that credibility. You don't have to keep proving yourself. Is what I think.
Yeah. So definitely proving is required, and double down on that in the initial stage so that you can build on that reputation.
Yeah. And I think education, I see, like we did talk about, right? That now people are not talking that women, she's the driver is someone who is woman, right? They're not questioning. The more women are seen as doing or being in leader, and they are being very good leaders, there's no question. People will automatically believe. People will automatically know. And then we have to, I will be looking forward to that generation where people, women doesn't have to prove anymore.
Yeah.
Already knowing, women can make up good leaders. So it's an ecosystem, and breaking ecosystem is not easy.
Yeah.
It takes all of that. That's why I tell, that's why I do this mentorship. Like, if more and more women are there in the pool, we don't have to prove so much. People will by default know that they are brilliant leaders.
Yeah. That's actually very important for getting more women in the leadership role, so that it becomes a norm rather than an exception, right? So in the same context, there is this study, 2024 Women in Workplace Report by McKinsey, and the study they have done with leanin.org. So they are saying that women are still less likely than men to be hired into entry level roles. So what do you think are the common barriers in that first step?
In fact, I think when it is entry level, men and women equally get chance. Because I am not contradicting the research, but at least in the software industry, there is not much difference. Mostly the difference comes when there is senior and more senior roles, like the leadership roles. But what I understand where there could be a difference, and this is purely my opinion, I am not sure about this, but one of the things why women could be not taken so seriously in the interviews is again the perception of women not being flexible or not being there every time when it would be needed. Right? This is a perception built by the recruiters, the managers as well, right? And this can also happen because of their current experience, that okay, they might feel okay, they may go on maternity leave, or they may not be there for with us every time, right? And this is an unfortunate expectation as well, from especially the workforce in India, because it's always the presence matter a lot than work, right? How are you present 24/7, so that I can call you anytime, or I can be there for any time. That is something which they already have a perception that they may not get that, right? So few things, and why that perception again, right? Expectations of being always there, and second, it's also coming from women of not being there, right? And why that happens is because not knowing that these are the traits which are looked upon, right? So being aware that how you can show that in your interviews, that you can showcase that yes, you are will be there based on when it is needed, of course taking care of yourself and your other things, not sacrificing though, but aware that this job role demands this, right? So showing those traits in interview is one thing. Second is, I would think that the conditioning again which is happening with women is being too nice, right? Saying yes to everything, right? And waiting for instructions to come in so that they can follow. So these are the traits which shows that you are a good follower, but you are not open to lead things, right? And take charge of things, right? So I think these are things which a woman can work during interview process itself, where she can say that I am there, I'm strong in these areas as well, and I can equally give the time, right? Not sacrificing, but having strong boundaries and having strong priorities. You can, like I said, right, when you are giving time, you're giving 100% time, right? How will you do when you are aware of yourself? That time you can give it. So I think these are small things no one tells in interviews, where you can show that capabilities, that you are as good as any other male colleague who's been interviewed. That is something which you can showcase, and that can increase the interview percentage, like cracking percentage. But I don't want to say that it's only job of women to do that. It's also the job of ecosystem to understand that women works differently. It's not going to be the same as men. They are also committed, they are also wanting to give more time, they are also wanting to give 100%. But the ecosystem should understand, or the system should understand, that they work differently. They may give, like, even a woman has this period cycle, biologically they are different, they will have to go through the maternity, they will have to do this, but they do have a certain traits which they double down on, which men don't have, right? Like they when they get break, like when I returned from maternity, I did had good fresh perspectives, I did had good break, and I'm coming with a fresh perspective, and I'm giving my double there, right? Same in the period cycle, there will be some low days, but there will be days where the hormones are really working good and you are giving 100%. And I think it is all about understanding how woman works differently, and she is bringing that value and acknowledging that value, and you making use of those qualities, is what the system also needs to understand. It's both. It's
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
It's women as well as the recruiting
Hmm.
agency or the recruiters or the leaders who are hiring managers needs to and the organization and company needs to and things are shifting. I see a lot
Yeah.
of women being hired and lot of women being preferred in
Hmm.
corporate as well now.
All right. Awesome. But it's interesting. I mean, I read it somewhere that a woman is in corporate is expected that to behave as if she doesn't have a family, and at home she is expected to behave as if she doesn't have a job. So it is a
It's very cliche, I would say, because
yeah.
it's an irony that they are expected to be different, playing different roles, and I think this is our generation of women are facing, and this is reality,
Yeah.
right? The thing is, that's why many women are not able to get married and start a family if they are ambitious as well,
Yeah.
right? Because the ecosystem is not that which is conducive of the environment where she can thrive in both the areas. So she's sacrificing. She's willing to sacrifice of not going there, which is not a good thing.
Yes.
This is not good. But at the same time, I see some positive things like men are stepping, especially as partners at this thing where they are sharing the workload and giving chance to both women, and I'm seeing this lot as well, right? It's not that woman has to say. So it's happening both ways, and men are actually stepping up and doing a lot of household chores and lot of other things, and both are thriving in that environment. However, women also needs to understand that this is a transition phase. There will be a time where woman is not expected to do so much, and we also need to understand that we are not superwoman, and we need to not be there everywhere, and we need to spend our energies in a way where it is giving both. Like some days your kid can become much more priority, some days your household, and other thing which many women don't do is delegation, which I see a lot because of that superwoman syndrome and being perfection. I think many women are suffering because of this perfection syndrome also, right? Like being perfect in all the areas,
Yeah.
and not accepting that she cannot be perfect, and not accepting that she may not be 100% good in all the areas. It will be based on time, that someday she can be very good mother, but some days she can be very good professional, some days she can be very good housewife, right? So I think it's always that it's good that woman is capable of playing multiple roles, but at the same time she needs to understand that she is not a savior. She shouldn't be a savior, and she should know how to ask help or take help. I would say having an ecosystem or having a support system around you, asking help, taking help is also a skill.
Yeah.
And not being perfect, right? Many women are going towards hyper independence and not asking help. I would say if they start asking help, if they start having that support system around them, like I do have support system, like house help who can cook, who can do the cleaning part for me. I have my brain also not occupied so much because I delegate to my team as well, and I take up something very much important which I should only be doing. So you need to know what to eliminate. You need to know what to when to say no. You need to know what are your to-dos which you only can do and you have to do it, right? So spend the energy there only. So this way I think we can break, and those who have been successful women, they have not looked for perfection and not looked for, and they were okay with feeling guilty.
Yeah.
So they were okay to feeling guilty. Even Indranu, in many interviews, she has said that I have not gone to all the PTMs. There were PTMs where I did attend to, but she was okay with feeling that guilty. But she also mentioned that other women are also guilty who are giving all.
Yeah.
By not doing something for themselves. You will always have guilt in your life. You need to just choose which guilt you want at what time.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. So, since you mentioned woman syndrome, I think, yeah, that is something we need to talk about more, because unknowingly, so many women feel that they have to do everything, and there are unreasonable standards, especially if you're also a mother, where you feel that you have to be a certain way. And I also tell my clients that, it's okay if some days you are just ordering food from outside. It does not
Yeah.
matter. As long as you can enjoy that meal with your child, with your family, it does not matter that you are not cooking all the time, or if you don't like cooking at all. It's all right. So whatever works for you, don't try to do everything. And like you rightly said, asking for help is always a superpower, right?
Yes. And knowing yourself too. Like,
Hmm.
you are getting burned out, or
Yeah.
you are being acting like a
Hmm.
superwoman, or,
Yeah.
if you don't catch yourself in these
Hmm.
times,
Yeah.
you will keep burning out. So,
Yes.
knowing yourself is definitely supersedes everything.
Hmm.
And then all these techniques come, delegation,
Hmm.
asking for help, and all that.
Yeah.
If you are not even aware of yourself,
Hmm.
you just go by like headless chicken.
Yeah.
You're just going everywhere.
Yeah. Obs. Right. So tell me one thing, knowing what you know now about career growth and about mindset, if you could go back in time and if you could meet your 25-year-old self, what is the one career advice that you will give her?
Yeah, that's a beautiful question. And I think, if I knew that I don't have to wait for permission, or I don't have to get
Hmm.
others' validation
Hmm.
to what I want to do, I would have been much more faster in my growth. So
Wow.
I think I would have definitely told my 24-year self, you don't need permission. You don't need to be 100% ready. You don't need somebody's validation to do anything. If you think you want to do, you go ahead and do it and own your stuff. Whether it is failure, whether it is success, you own it.
That is a powerful advice. Don't wait for validation, because I think so many dreams, they get crushed just because we are waiting for someone else's validation.
And this is true for especially women, because she is trained to ask permissions for
Hmm.
everything, right? And right from the childhood. Can I do this?
Yeah.
Can I do that? And also validation. How is this dress looking? How am
Yeah.
I looking? So it's always about asking permissions and validations. And also, I think I would say that being open to experimentation, which is
Hmm.
something, we wanting to be much more in the comfort zone and not experimenting things is also costing us a
Hmm.
lot,
Yeah.
right? And allowing ourselves, like
Hmm.
I said, not waiting for somebody's permission, but giving permission or allowing ourselves to experiment, explore,
Hmm.
and own the things which we
Yeah.
want to do
Yeah.
will that
Yeah.
kind of edge.
Yeah. Definitely go out, try out things, make a mistake, fail.
Hmm.
Give yourself that permission to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because we are too much into that perfectionism, we
Hmm.
don't allow ourselves to fail. And
Yes.
that also is coming from that conditioning, right? And that's why I've seen a trend, if you
Hmm.
have noticed, Ritu, when we were growing as kids,
Hmm.
when we write something in, when we go for exams
Hmm.
or studies, have you seen a trend where every time girl is topping
Yeah.
and girl is scoring very good marks,
Yeah.
and boys are like, are okay to be average? It's not that boys don't score well,
Yeah.
but I'm not generalizing this,
Hmm.
but I'm just saying the scenario
Hmm.
where a girl is like not doing much of the activities or
Hmm.
other curricular things, but she's very focused on studies
Okay.
and scoring high marks,
Hmm.
and the boy is doing all kind of stuff where he's playing football, he's doing all musty, being naughty, and
Hmm.
trying out different things, and then also scoring a very good, decent mark, right?
Yeah.
So that is a quality which has been acquired since childhood, and that is haunting us today when we are just focusing on the things which we need to get, but we are losing out on the other aspect of not trying and not failing, right? So that is something which we need to start doing, right? Because girls are told to be very nice, very respectful, very humble, very much following instructions. That's causing a lot of trouble, right? Because it's always about being nice girl, right? It's always about being obedient, do the studies, do the thing. It's all considered good. And that's why woman also, when she grows up, she just want to follow instructions. She wants to do, tell me what to do and I will give you 100%. That mindset needs to be changed. We need to acquire something from men here to be more open to fail, to be not so perfect, to be experimenting and to carve out your own path by doing mistakes. I think this will help us do more things than what we are doing today. Is what I feel.
I think that's a very valid point. Especially that women need to have a more well-rounded personality. Don't get very, very blinkered into only one aspect, like what you did as a young girl, maybe just blinkered into your academics. Try to, widen your horizon, try out new things, fail at them, learn from them, and have a, better experience of life. That's very...
Again, it's not about generalizing. There are women who have been into extracurricular and done all these things. This is more about people who are stuck and not able to do anything. Like, it's not about men, women, but these are common themes across what we see.
True. So tell me, as you as someone who's very balanced, you have balanced ambition, leadership role, motherhood. So how did you cultivate the mental resilience and confidence during your early and mid-career years, and especially when stakes were high and support was limited?
Yeah, I would not say that I have got the confidence and all when I was as a kid. I did grow up as a very shy kid, not being able to open up to people. So definitely I didn't grow up like that, but I molded myself to do that, right? And one of the things what I helped is um, the quest of knowing myself more. And one was that seeking help from mentors and coaches. I don't think I could have done alone because it does require certain support from a different mentor and a coach who can make, bring something in you out, right? It's there in you. I never knew I did had confidence. I never knew that I was somewhat intelligent. I never knew that, because of all the self doubt and you are shy and you are going for a validation and the validation were not that great for me that, that proves that I'm good enough, right? So that state has changed when I seeked help and when I was curious about my own self growth, and that aspect helped me seek help and know more about myself, and then I was in the journey of gaining more confidence through this. But I don't think I could have done alone. This was not a natural date for me.
All right. So you believe that mindset coaching, work, and other modalities like inner child healing that really helped you, right?
Definitely. Because, there are different kids who grow up in a different way. I don't think that anybody grows in a very perfect environment. There could be certain things which could be creating a lot of problems in your adulthood. You become adult, but you are still struggling with your childhood trauma or childhood things which you have not addressed. Because I, as a kid, was very suppressive in terms of not showing emotions or not understanding my own emotions, because that was my defense mechanism. That was my response to
Mm.
any bad event, right? Through this, through the other methods of understanding these blocks,
Mm.
and through coaches who have helped me remove these
Mm.
blocks. And once I was able to come out of these blocks, I was able to
Mm.
see things more clarity. This gave me more clarity,
Mm.
and that's how that confidence slowly started building, and that's how I started acknowledging my authentic self more
Mm.
through
Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely see that it does help.
Right. So, how do you think women who are trying ambitious and who want to grow in their career, how can they benefit from mindset coaching and inner child healing?
Yeah, I understand that there could be many blockages which doesn't help women to seek help.
Mm.
But if you take that small step of exploring and asking for help,
Mm.
that could be one of the first steps. Exploring what are the different ways you can take help of. Like, many, I think, struggle with firstly money factor.
Mm.
These are the things which many think that it should not be invested money, because it's not something which you can see, right?
Mm.
You cannot, and you don't know, you cannot invest in something which you don't know
Mm.
about, right? So there are ways to
Mm.
invest. You have some free things, free stuff also,
Mm.
like YouTube, or there are certain books,
Mm.
self-help books which can help you.
Mm.
And also, I would say that we always have money for doing something, like buying clothes for ourselves, doing shopping and all
Yeah.
that, right? Then why not have some money to invest in having a coach, and
Mm.
you know invest in yourself. You are still investing. Clothes are something visible, so
Mm.
you might want to invest in that. But investing in yourself by hiring a coach or a mentor
Mm.
can help you gain, if you are doing by yourself, you will do twofolds, you will
Mm.
get the growth twofolds. But if you are investing in yourself by hiring a coach, it will be 10 times more faster, right? Because
Mm.
you are growing at a very faster rate. So I would definitely
Mm.
encourage to take up this kind of coaching and mentoring.
So, what would you say to a woman who listening today who feels that she's doing everything right? She's working hard, she's performing well, but still she's not getting noticed or she's not getting promoted.
Yeah, this is so common
Yeah.
feeling, like, I'm working so hard, but I'm not getting promoted. I'm working so hard.
Mm.
So, yes, you are working hard in all the wrong directions, is what I would say. Right. So, I think, it's also again the conditioning, especially, or we all grow up knowing that
Mm.
if you work hard, you will get what you want,
Mm.
right? Not knowing that that could be something which is not taken to be literally.
Mm.
Something, we hear and we take things literally, and we keep on doing for years and years, and we get same results. So I would say that just go back, take few steps back, understand what are you doing that is
Mm.
giving the same result over and
Mm.
over again,
Mm.
right? If you do the same thing, you will get same results.
Mm.
It's a common logic,
Mm.
right? What is the different response I should give to get a different result? So compare what is that you want and what different response you need to give to achieve that. If hard work is giving you results, then keep doing hard work. If hard work is not giving you results, think about what other things needs to be given to give that results, right? So I'll just give an example, like, I won't advocate that just do smart work and
Mm.
not do hard work. I believe both are important.
Mm.
Sometimes hard work is important, sometimes smart work is important, sometimes both is needed, and something neither is needed. Just to keep quiet is also a response to be given when things are not working. But you need to know what response needs to be given, when, where, to get that desired outcome. So I think many women fail at that. They and why it happens is also because of conditioning. Like, there is some written thing, there is some said thing, and we just have to blindly follow. This is the following mentality is somewhere creating a lot of trouble, and not using our own brain to understand and get a different perspective out of this. So I think, understanding this is very important for any to grow.
Yeah. I love that statement that you made, that they are making effort but in all the wrong directions. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And so basically you are saying that women need to develop self-leadership first in order to
Yeah.
understand.
So women definitely need to understand that what it takes to go to certain place, right?
Yeah.
And that they can do by doing their own research, by understanding their own thing, or they can do by taking help from mentors and coaches, or the one who are already in that place. That's a faster way.
Yeah.
Right? Like you taking mentorship from already who's a CEO and you are already a senior leader will, like, I took a mentorship from a CEO. And I had all wrong concepts of being a senior. I thought life is boring, you don't have your hobbies, you don't have time for family, it's all sacrifice. But when I had a mentor who is a CEO, I got a perspective that no, he is also living his life. He is having his own hobbies. He is not sacrificing. That perspective helped me that, okay, life is not that bad and I can still pursue that. Right? And that is what every woman needs to do. And especially they need to have more women role models. Right? Many women also make a mistake of not hiring at least one woman role model, or one mentor as a woman they should have. And that is the mistake I also did before that. I all had men mentors, which is really great. I do get a lot of perspective, but I never had a woman mentor. But when I had my own manager as a woman at one point of time, I learned really fast because I thought it is possible to do. If she is doing, I can do. If she is there, I can be there. So having women as your mentors will give you that edge, and that is where you need to also see that, okay, maybe I'm investing in wrong places, maybe I'm doing hard work in wrong places, maybe you need to do hard work, you need to execute few tasks, but you need to also take time to understand the big picture, or someone who has already crossed the journey, and that will take you faster than just keeping doing and expecting things to happen.
Yeah. So being strategic is important, and that you can learn from someone who has walked the path ahead of you and take mentorship from them. Right?
Yeah.
And I resonate with the thought that women need women mentors, and I know you are doing a great job of mentoring so many women, not only in your company but even in all events that you go through, different engagements that you do as a guest. You share your knowledge with so many women, and that's awesome. So
in fact, I would like more and more women to do this.
Yeah. No,
in fact, I also need more women mentors and role models, and I see very few. So I think more women coming forward will make all of us take in that direction.
True. So coming to the next point, like we spoke about entry level barriers. Now, the next level barriers which women face is in going into the leadership role. So there's this KPMG research, Women in Leadership in Corporate India. And that says that only 30% or less number of women who enter a company at the entry level, so less than 30% rise to a leadership role, whereas this number is significantly higher for men. More percentage of men who go through the entry level, they manage to become leaders, but for women, less than 30%. So why do you think this happens?
And this is so true.
Yeah.
And this research is so true. And I myself see that trend where it's like of the inverted funnel, where it is like, it becomes like a triangle where only few percentage go into the top, and this is very real.
Yeah.
And what I feel, many factors which contribute to this is that, like we discussed this before also, there are two aspects. One is woman herself, and second, the system, which is not designed for women working in a different style, in a different way. So I think both the things should be changing. Women can change in terms of addressing her own beliefs, right? That she can't do is one of the belief, right? Because she's always comparing with a male counterpart, right? That person is able to do. Even I see, many women coming after maternity have that self-doubt in them. Oh, my male colleagues might have already crossed me, or I am not feeling that kind of strength in me that, I'm able to take care of my biological needs as well as take care of all these things and do that. So lot of self doubts. The belief system in women is not that strong because of lot of experience, and I don't blame them because they are facing, and this is the reality we need to accept. Because at home, like you said, right, they are expected to be perfect at home as a homemaker. They are expected to be a perfect mother if they are having kids. They are expected to do all these things, right? And what we as women can do is that firstly we can change the inward belief, right? That yes, we are expected, but what is that we can do beyond this? How we can break our own self-doubt, how we can break our own beliefs. That is what we cannot do, right? That is what we can do as a woman. And as a system, obviously we need to have more the ecosystem where it is built, which are women friendly, where it is not about being present 24/7. It is about the value what they are bringing to the table. Having that kind of awareness and education being done to other colleagues also, because it's you are forming that culture, you are forming that environment. And I'm lucky to be working in one of those organizations also, where it is slowly giving that kind of environment equally both to men and women. So more and more things can be done in terms of doing that. It's not just like Indra Nui or others also have spoken this a lot. It's not about giving reservations to women, to have more seats in the table, but it is more about how the environment is created around her to be herself. Be herself and to work herself and give her own value to the system. So that is one aspect. And like we discussed, it's also about breaking our own belief systems to navigate through all the challenges and become a leader. For me, it has been a very difficult journey because I have very few role models to look up to as women, right? And but at the same time, I'm doing this more and more so that more and more people can see role models and they find examples and they can break their own barriers quicker. And that is something which we as women can do.
Right. So like you rightly said, it's not just a mindset or a skill set issue from the perspective of women. Yes, their own perceptions are there. But as a culture, as an environment, corporate environment, do you feel that corporates have failed women? And what is the one change that needs to be made immediately to ensure that more women are, able to rise to leadership roles and they don't fall off the radar?
I think more of educating programs, especially for men. Usually, programs are designed for women, but having more programs designed for men around is going to help address much more faster. Because I don't blame on men themselves, because sometimes it is not the awareness or the education they might not have to look in a certain way or
Hmm.
collaborate in a certain way.
Hmm.
Right? I think more focus and education on how things can be better collaborated with
Hmm.
women,
Hmm.
more and more understanding of, and I've been doing this in my own organization
Mhm.
also, where we are like I have conducted a session on period cycle
Hmm.
of a woman and what woman goes through
Wow.
different stages,
Hmm.
because s- there is also a fun made, right? Sometimes, okay, woman is too reactive, then oh, are you PMSing?
Yeah.
This is a very uh, uh, typical question.
Hmm.
Yeah, because now there is the good part is that there is awareness,
Hmm.
right? And why women can behave in a certain way, that is good also, but
Hmm.
at the same time, rather than mocking or rather than making fun of it,
Hmm.
understanding and giving that kind of space and
Hmm.
that kindness is more important. So we have done this. I have done this for women, but many women gave a feedback that why don't we do this for men?
Yeah, exactly.
So that is the next step we are doing.
Hmm.
We will be having that for men as well,
Hmm.
and educating more about their biological needs,
Hmm.
or how they go through their own stuff, and how women are different, but at the
Hmm.
same time they are same,
Hmm.
right? They can still value, or
Hmm.
they can still give value,
Hmm.
right? So this is something immediately can be done and very low cost, no brainer.
Hmm.
I think that this is every organization should practice this. There are
Hmm.
diversity initiatives, but
Hmm.
ironically, the diversity initiatives are for women
For
only.
women, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it should be for men to
Hmm.
understand women more. It's not that every man would have women in their house,
Hmm.
but it's different when it comes to working environment,
Workplace. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And how to we learn through relationships, through marriage and
Hmm.
everything, how we can collaboratively work in a marriage setup,
Hmm.
but no one is teaching how to collaboratively work with when there are two genders,
Hmm.
and we are just talking about two genders, there could be
Hmm.
many. So how to collaboratively work is
Hmm.
not the focus. Mostly the focus is how um, you know they are existing,
Hmm.
and we need to respect that is the
Hmm.
focus. That is not required. Respect is definitely is required, and we need to educate for the
Hmm.
right respect, equality, or whatever it
Hmm.
is. But what are the ways we can collaborate and work
Hmm.
and have that ecosystem develop, so that it's not seen as gender but more seen as who has different strengths and what they are bringing to the table.
I
I
think,
think that is
yeah.
something which can be done.
I think that's a brilliant, brilliant thought. And I think that's a brilliant point you brought up, that all the initiatives are actually to educate women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this understanding, this educating men how they can collaborate better, and educating men on their own biases, their
Yeah.
own unconscious biases that they hold for women in the workplace, and how they can see the value that women are bringing to the table, which might be different from what they bring to the table, because unconsciously they are having the bias that I am able to do this, why she is not able to do this, whereas they
Yeah.
are not able to see what is her unique contribution.
And somewhere the system has gone wrong by reserving seats for women.
Hmm.
Not entirely wrong, I would say it's still a good for a starter.
Yeah.
But for a long term, this is
Hmm.
not going to work, because
No.
I've heard men speaking this,
Hmm.
that, oh, you get opportunities because of this.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know,
Hmm.
you get opportunities because of that, and it's unfair. And
Yeah.
I would say unfair
Hmm.
after a certain period. But
Hmm.
yes, it is fair at certain level where
Yeah.
women don't get opportunities
Yeah.
and they need to get
Yeah.
that reserved seat.
Hmm.
However, after a point, it is something where we don't want men to see women in that way. We
Yeah.
want to see with her own capabilities,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
she's come so far,
Yeah.
and how they can support.
Hmm. Hmm.
They
Hmm.
can support. Then having a feeling that it's this is something which is yeah, a men and women thing. They
Yeah.
should not be looking at that. Rather they should be like, okay, how I can support her and how she can support
Support
me.
me. Yeah.
Even women can support men in
Of
many
course. Of
areas,
course.
especially in emotional department, where understanding certain nuances,
Hmm.
definitely they can. So that culture will be very good in thriving both men, women, where they are supporting each other. It's not about only men supporting women.
Yeah.
Men also can support in many ways.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of creating that kind of connection and ecosystem will help much more. We can thrive in that environment.
Yeah. You're right that reservation is a starting point, but it cannot be a strategy forever. It's not,
Yes.
Long-term strategy. But initially, yes, we need more groundwork to create a level playing field for both
Yeah.
men and women, so that then they can move to the next level where they can work in collaboration and value adding to each other, not only one supporting the other, but both collaborating and bringing out more value, not only for the team, but for the organization. But this is very important discussion, and this is a very important conversation, and I think we need those programs, and I feel that you will be one of the first leaders bringing that program into your company.
Yeah, I'm always there to support.
Yeah, awesome. So tell me one thing, when we did speak about this unconscious bias that men have and the feeling they have that women are getting advantages because they are women. When a woman is promoted, especially into a leadership role, there is always a lot of skepticism. There is always a lot of questions. She has to prove much more. Like, it's asked that whether she can handle it, whether she's the right choice. Those discussions happen even in the boardrooms before a woman is given a crucial leadership role. So
Yeah.
how do you think an aspiring woman leader can deal with this kind of pressure? What has been your experience?
Yes, it's very much true that, like I said, we also discussed about that a woman has to prove herself,
Yeah.
and if woman has to prove herself as a leader as well, and it has to be putting double efforts, right? And I have seen this as well when initially I had become leader, and I had seen those initial reactions as well, where it was not being accepted as is. I had to prove.
Okay.
I had to put lot of. I had to build that trust eventually by working with the team or the people and gaining that credibility and respect and trust after a point of time. It was not a given, it was not kind of a privilege that I had, that okay, I'm a leader and now I have to. And I think many leaders go through. Even Indra Nui had to prove herself, her leadership, in ways, and she had over prepared in everything to get that seat, right? And it happens with many women. But I would again come to the same thing, is that if you believe you can't do, then you will not be successful as a leader. But if you believe that you have it in you, you can bring so much to the people around you or to the team, then nothing can stop you, right? You are ready to put an extra effort. You are ready to do that. But once you prove it, once you build that credibility, it becomes much more easier for people to accept, and that is not easy to break.
Yeah.
That is not easy to break. Why? Because you are coming from an authentic space. People know you, and you are going to be irreplaceable. Though you are going to be replaced as a person into your position, but as a person, you are never replaceable. You are going to be you. And I have always strongly believed in this, and that has taken a lot to build my leadership career as well, because I have been brutal enough to be my authentic self. I didn't put up a face. I not mimicking somebody else. I am showing who I am, and people have slowly gathered that trust in me, believed in me, and then the opportunities is coming. So I would say, yeah, I mean, you should know yourself, you should have belief in yourself, and you should go for it.
Yeah.
I'd say. But you should be also anticipating it's not going to be a linear growth.
Yeah.
It's going to be an ups and downs. And if you don't anticipate downs, because I have seen a lot of ups and downs, right? And if you give up in your downs, you'll not be able to go there. That's why many women fall apart in one direction, because they see downs as a failure, and being wanting to be perfect all the time are not acceptive of those failures, and we give up. We need to see downs as one phase, and then again I see up. But many feel to see that up, they give up in down phase. I would suggest that the more they are giving themselves, and more they are being tolerant, having patience, the more they are imperfect, like, not being perfect, and allowing themselves to fail. These are the leadership qualities which they will be taking to grow faster.
Right.
I think many, and also not just being afraid, that is the, like, what do you say, the mindset part. But there are also external factors like maternity time, or lot of expectations at home. All these also allow women to, like, think, they think that it is better to sacrifice their career for that, right? So many lose out on that. But when you know, when you know yourself, when you work on your mindset, you are able to be a better delegator, you are able to be a better manager, you are able to manage multiple things in a better way. You become skillful in that. Women, have, I think, more skills, because they get skilled in handling multiple things, right? But when you don't have that belief, when you don't have that mindset, it doesn't go to that level.
Right. So they already have the skill, but they need the mindset to actually believe that they have the skills.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And every setback is actually a feedback, right?
Yeah.
So.
And I'm somewhere, I feel that we are ashamed of failure. And why is because, again, the conditioning, right? That girl is so good, so nice, she cannot do wrong, right? That nice girl syndrome is there in us.
Yeah.
Very deep rooted. And we need to break free from that. It's better to be a happy girl than a nice girl.
Yeah.
You better be a naughty girl than a nice girl. You better be rule breaker than you follow rules. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but those who have broken rules have only gone up, is what my observation is. Definitely with a calculative risk. But staying in your comfort zone will never help you grow. You need to step out of your comfort zone, explore, experiment, fail, own your failures, and then you will be able to grow as leader.
Awesome, awesome. So, as a a leader yourself, what advice would you give to women in how they can develop their executive presence? Because that is something which a lot of women struggle with.
In fact, I am still learning. I'm not a perfect one. Yeah. But I would say executive presence is not only about dressing well and looking like an executive. It's also showing authentic self, right? Then you are not faking it. You are just being your true self everywhere. You don't need to prepare so much, right? You are just carrying yourself wherever you go. And this doesn't happen only on certain events or certain this thing. You carry yourself the same way in your home as well, in your surroundings as well, where you are true to yourself. You are showing up as an authentic and very anchored individual, right? And that is what will show that executive presence as well, right? And I've seen many executives who are strong. The one trait they carry is being true to themselves, right? Of course, the external matters, right? And one thing I learned in that, how you can be externally, showing your presence is also is how you keep yourself ready in certain situations. Many times what happens is that we think that once we become leader, then we dress a certain way. Once we become a leader, we talk a certain way. Once we become a leader, we do that. We always wait for the title or things to start doing something. One thing I have learned is you have to start behaving as a leader today itself. You have to start dressing up like as if you're a leader. You have to talk as if you're a leader. So that becomes very natural to you, and you don't have to wait for the title or to become an executive to behave like that. Start today. The more you behave like one, you will be like seen as executive.
So now my favorite questions about negotiation, which is such an important topic. But according to Harvard research, and personally also I've experienced this, that women who negotiate assertively, they are often seen as unlikable or aggressive, whereas men are seen as confident. Why do you think this happens?
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons why it is, like I said, right, like many other reasons why woman is perceived bossy or aggressive, that's the same thing, right? But negotiation, like, is definitely a very important skill, which everyone should have, both men and women. Without negotiating well, you don't get what you ask for, you get what you negotiate for. We all know it, right? And I think one of the things which we can do to not perceive in a way, we have to, like, one thing I always think that women are very good at street shopping and they negotiate very well with that bhaiya. Right? And one thing I always feel, and I'm not good at that, but I have seen many women good at that, right? And how we negotiate, right? How we negotiate, that person will say 100 rupees to one product, and then we negotiate for 20 rupees or 50 rupees, and we get that product around like 50 rupees, right? So how reasonable it sounds will give you that product in like it becomes yours, right? And it's also about win-win situation. And I always believe negotiation is always win-win. It's not just one side who's gaining profits. It's both sides, right? Because when we do that street shopping, we also quote a reasonable value to that product, right? If he's saying 100 rupees, we don't quote 10 rupees, right? Because it's either the vendor will become very angry, or he will say no, I'll not give, right? At the same time, she doesn't quote 100 rupees. She says little bit below, right? Can you give this product for 50 rupees, right? And then the vendor says not 50 but 80, then it comes to 70, and the deal is closed at 70, right? When we can do that, what happens to the real corporate life? Why we are not good enough to negotiate, right? First is that we think everything is set. You think that it's fixed, right? You think that the mindset of, or the impression what you have created is fixed. You think that whatever you have worked needs to be recognized, and they know your worth, and you don't negotiate, right? These are the beliefs first. And for women specifically, many women I saw, they think that they have done all the hard work, and the manager will know it, and they will give what they are worth of it. They don't go for defining their own value or worth. And that's where many women also do the mistake. So I believe documentation with all the facts and what you have done will give you your value you have brought, right? Or what achievements you have done. If you don't even know what you have done and you just put it on your manager or your boss to decide for you, then you are on a wrong path. Firstly, you need to have that download. You need to know what is your value, right? Second, you need to be reasonable about it.
Mm.
You know your value.
Mm.
But is that directly impacting to the growth of the company?
Mm.
Is that
Mm.
actually creating an impact?
Mm.
Is that actually good? That knowledge
Mm.
many don't have.
Mm.
They think they have done all the things,
Mm.
right? But is it impacting
Mm.
the right place?
Yeah.
What you need to know.
Mm.
Then you become reasonable in negotiating,
Mm.
right? Of course, in the street shopping also,
Mm.
if you don't know that this is a 100 rupee value or this is a 50 rupee value,
Mm.
and you're negotiating for 10 rupees, then that means you don't know the value of that
Mm.
product you're giving or
Mm.
taking, right? So knowing that value and what is the impact you're creating, the first thing is important. And this needs not to be a discussion which happens at the end.
Mm.
This happens at the start,
Mm.
where the alignment comes into picture,
Mm.
where what you are thinking is what your manager is also thinking.
Mm.
Many go by assumptions.
Mm.
Like one of the assumption is that I have done all the work and they know my work.
Mm.
Second, the assumption is that what I am thinking I'm delivering value is what the other person is also thinking, and not aligning that whether what I am thinking and you are thinking is same.
Mm.
So that alignment comes at the first,
Mm.
and then you work towards that alignment, and then the negotiation becomes fruitful to get what you want.
Mm.
And the other thing I always talk about negotiation is that it's not one time thing, firstly. And if the negotiation is not win-win,
Mm.
right, you try it again.
Mm.
And I think everything is win-win when you are getting a feedback. You're not getting what you want, but you are getting a feedback. It's still a win.
Mm.
Nor you are knowing that what is didn't went well. Many don't take that positively. Many think, oh, I have done everything, but still my boss feels that I have not done anything.
Yeah.
That is where we get to an understanding, and also considering their own perspective. It's not just I have done everything and you give me. Okay, that person is coming from his or her place as well, where okay, I was expecting this, that didn't happen, or I there are some uncontrollable things also sometimes that the organization is going in losses and they cannot pay you. How much ever you fight for that negotiation, you need to understand they can't pay you, right? So you need to decide based on the feedback you're getting. You can negotiate further what more can be done for you. That is where the negotiation will. Okay, this is not happening, what else can happen? Okay, what more you can get, what you can offer, right? Or when this can happen. These talks should happen. And that is what the true negotiation is. Not just what I want, I should get. So I think it's always win-win. And when it happens win-win, mostly all that I have negotiated for, I have got it only because I have also been considerate about the other person whom I'm negotiating with.
I think, yeah, that's a perfectly stated step-by-step process. Most people think that negotiation happens at the last moment, but like you rightly said, it is a process and it has many steps. It's not only about like today there is a lot of conversation around self-advocacy, but before you advocate for yourself, first you have to understand the alignment, and that alignment part is, I think, which a lot of people miss out. They believe that they have done the hard work, but maybe the direction in which they were working was not even the direction the manager expected or was aligned with the goals of the team or of the organization. So having that conversation without assuming, asking that at the beginning, and then aligning your efforts in that direction, and then yes, advocating for yourself, showing up, yeah, showing your value, keeping a record of your wins, and that is what builds up to a final win-win negotiation. Perfect.
In fact, I would like to point out this thing also. When we go to negotiation, and especially the promotion and other conversations, highly sensitive, and we go with a lot of emotions, right? Having that perspective that we are not going to get something, but to understand and clarify our own selves is more important perspective to go towards negotiation than to get something. Because many, I see that there will be lot of disappointment, there will be lot of resentment, cursing after that, and then there is no understanding, and then the other negotiation also comes to the same conclusion, right? Then it's not a fruitful negotiation. So going with an open mind and having an perspective of both the sides, and having that kind of understanding that is not about getting things, it's about getting more clarity and understanding how you can get that.
Yeah.
So I think many miss out on that as well.
So would you say this is the key mindset people should keep when
Yeah.
going into a negotiation, that it is more about getting clarity than about getting something out of it?
Getting something out of it.
Yeah. And what would you suggest? We discussed about getting promotion, so you already have a path and you're following that. But when someone is going into a new job, how would you suggest they tackle the salary negotiation part? Because that also is very tricky. You don't have any prior engagement with that company. They don't know you only based on your interview and your resume. So how do you negotiate over there?
Yeah, I think Indra Nui, in one of her interviews also, like, in one of her the podcast or interviews, she mentioned that she is doing firstly the preparation and over preparation sometimes to make sure that she delivers, that she has that potential and value, right? So for the interviews also, you should know your worth, you should know your value, and you should also validate or verify based on the other. It's not about just you, right? It's also about what's there in the market. Your value is not only determined by you saying yes to it. You also verify it. You also confirm it whether these skills, what is the value in the market? What is that something which I can get, and what is the edge you are having? Right? It's all about when you negotiate, you should know your differentiator. You should know what more you can offer than any other person, or what is that unique qualities or unique thing which you bring in, right? And once you have done that, then you are in a better place to negotiate the salary. Also, it's not about just you, like I said, right? It's also about the other person. You should be able to convince or help them understand what are you as an individual going to help them or bring value to that, right? And that makes a strong case. And there is what helps in easing out or creating that space to have better negotiation, right? And without homework and research, you cannot negotiate well. If you don't know what value that your skills bring in, you will not know what to quote or what you think is the right number, right? Like, either you can go very high or you can go very low. So you need to know that, you need to do that homework, and always provide a range. Don't quote a number, it should be a range that, okay, this is something which I think I would like to get, right? And that is where, and if the companies see your worth and what what potential you have, they're ready to invest in you. They're ready to invest in you. But what I see now, there is a lot of big pool. How you stand out will determine what salary you can get, right? There are many contenders for the same role, right? Your negotiation can become stronger when you give that edge. And edge can have based on preparation, over preparation, right? Knowing your stuff, knowing company. Many people can go to the interviews without knowing what the company is doing, without knowing what the company is expecting in this role. So I think that homework also shows the commitment of what you can do once joining.
Yeah.
If you show these traits, if you are committed, if you are showing or giving 100% in that area, I think the negotiation becomes, so you have to have a strong foundation to negotiate right, is what I believe.
Yeah, that's important. So knowing your value and communicating your value and going with full preparation is
Yeah.
what is needed for negotiating better salary. And not assuming that they are not wanting to pay, but knowing that they will invest in you if you bring that value.
Absolutely.
Right. Another important, aspect of corporate life is politics. And this is also one area most women really, tremble at. They like, feel like I have nothing to do with politics. I want to just stay away from it. I don't want to get involved in politics. But I personally believe, and even as I coach so many women, I also tell them that, politics is not something you should be scared of, or it's not something to be avoided. It's not something to be called dirty, but it is something we have to understand in order to navigate, work culture, navigate human relationships. What is your, understanding? What is the right mindset to have in order to navigate office politics?
Yeah, that is very important question, and thanks for asking that, Ritu.
Yeah.
So yes, you are right. Many have been conditioned to think office politics is bad. It's just like politics word comes and everything is bad.
Yeah.
Right? But politics only is running the countries, right?
Yeah.
If politics are not there, how we have president, prime minister, elected, and how we would how the countries would run, right? The same thing. We need to understand that politics is something not good or bad. It is needed for you to thrive. In fact, not even survive. It's needed to thrive in the office environment, and it is a critical component which you cannot ignore. Many either ignore it, blame it, or run away from it. Right? However, we need to change the mindset first from what we see as politics. I always give this example in my mentorship also. When we see a game played, we have a healthy competition of two different opponents are there and players are there, and they fight each other and they want to win, and they do that with a high spirit. But is playing a game considered bad?
No.
Right? Then why playing politics or being in a political environment is considered bad? Right? So that's a question we need to ask ourselves, and we need to clarify that firstly.
Yeah.
Secondly, when you play a game or any sport, you know what are the rules, right? But in politics, what happens is there are many unsaid rules, right? That's only the difference, right? We need to crack that unsaid rules by learning how politics works and how it can favor you rather pull you down. Right? And there are many self-help books, many books who teach to navigate through this politics without fighting or having conflicts. You don't have to fight. There is no something which is you have to because many people fight it out. You don't have to fight politics. You just have to know it, play it well with utmost authenticity. Because game also, sport also, you are playing with utmost authenticity, and no harm in playing to win.
Yeah.
Right? Once we get that understanding, it is then second thing is to seek help. Either through knowing more of how office politics works, by books, by coaches, by mentors, and get trained for that, and try to experiment it by applying, because every case is different. Even if I have gone through so many other cases, I see something which is new from my mentees who say that, okay, I have encountered this, what to do, right? So experimenting, exploring, and applying those things will help you determine to better navigate office politics, is what I believe.
Right. So the one mindset shift which women should have is not look at politics as evil or a bad thing, right? So that is where it will start, that they can see it as a tool which they can use to leverage and have a better experience in their corporate career. Yeah.
So many women fail to participate in politics just because of the thing that they think it's bad.
Yeah. So remove that judgment and participate more and figure it out. Take help when needed. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So a few more questions before we end for today. We have spoken about personal and professional, balancing the two, and you also are someone who's balancing both. But as per a research conducted by a professor from IIM Ahmedabad, women spend 7.2 hours a day on unpaid domestic work, which is for men, it is only 2.8 hours. So that is a huge investment of time. And because this time, is unpaid work, so it's not accounted for, it is not even visible. But this leaves them with, a lot of exhaustion. They feel overworked. There is a time poverty. They don't have enough time for themselves, right? So, and because this work is domestic, and it is like managing meals, remembering doctor appointments, planning school events, caring for elderly people, and even anticipating everyone else's need. But this is invisible. It is an invisible mental load that women are carrying. So what do you feel about this, and how do you manage it?
Yeah, I think this is so realistic scenario, and every day we face this. But one thing I do take care of is like I said, right, and the research is so true that the expectations are there,
Yeah.
and that gives a lot of pressure, right? And that's why many women go into guilt, that self doubt, that okay, they are falling short of somewhere, right? So this is very much true, and it's going to be there for quite a long time. One thing we can do is to have our own perspective of how we see these things, right? And how we want to tackle this. Do we want to sit in a guilt and keep on not doing anything, or keep on doing everything? Because we do either way, right? When we are in guilt situation, we either try to do everything, try to get control of everything, or we don't do anything. So removing that guilt factor and trying to give yourself a fresh perspective of you are not a superwoman. You have your own limitations. You have limited energy, and you can only spend your energy, and being wise to know where you can spend that energy, right? And delegating the rest of the things will help you manage things better, right? So for me, it has worked the same way. I'll tell you, like, even I felt that my house help is doing the cooking. I felt guilty of it, right? And I used to be just thinking like, okay, I'm not doing anything. I have to cook. I have to do this. It took me very long time to make myself understand that it's okay to take help. It's okay for someone else's cooking for me, right? Then I started giving a positive meaning to everything. One of the things which I started giving positive meaning was that, okay, I am able to employ another woman. I am able to give food to my family on time, because things happen on time. I'm able to use my energy into productive work which I'm supposed to do in my role. That thing. So there are a lot of pros and cons, but the thing is that I'm getting a lot of pros, and pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
That's how I measure. That's how I give a positive meaning to what I'm doing, and that makes me keep going. If I sit in a guilt that I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. Yes, you're not doing this. But have you ever focused on what you're doing, which is something which you can never imagine you have done? And it's much more giving you happiness, and it's much more worthwhile. So I think the perspective shift or mindset shift has helped me, firstly. And secondly, I'm a big fan of delegation. So the more I've delegated, and I make sure I prioritize and spend energies only where it is needed, where I have to be 100% there.
Yeah. So I think prioritization
I
and
use time management techniques a lot. Like I
yeah.
eliminate
Hmm.
things which I'm not needed. Even
Hmm.
in workplace, I attend only the meetings where I have to be there.
Hmm.
I don't unnecessarily attend all the meetings. So I, in the workplace, in the household also, I don't work on each and everything.
Hmm.
Whichever my house help can do, I don't touch that.
Hmm.
So these are the things I try to do, and I prioritize my time on focusing on the things where I have to be 100% there.
Yeah, yeah. So managing that guilt and prioritizing where you need to give your energy. These are two critical things one can do. Another, biggest turning point in a woman's career is not just a new role, it's motherhood, right? And unfortunately, the workplaces, they handle this whole women's returning from maternity leave in a very, very not in a very good way. Like, even though there are company policies, there is a leave which is given, and it's given by the Indian government as well, that they have to follow. The rules are there on paper, right? But when it comes to actual environment, when it comes to actually a woman returning from maternity leave, the way she is made to feel, directly or indirectly, that really can erode her confidence. Some places, yes, she is getting positive input, but most women feel the pressure when they're returning from a maternity leave. So what will be your advice based on your own experience and that of mentoring so many women?
Yeah, my experience has been
Hmm.
actually good.
Hmm.
Like I always keep on telling them, unlike many other experience which have not been good,
Hmm. Hmm.
my experience has been good, and
Hmm.
I in fact became a lead after coming from my maternity,
Hmm.
and that happens because like there are very good men,
Hmm.
women who are empathetic
Hmm.
and who understand the situation and don't judge you based on
Hmm.
your biological
Hmm.
events
Yeah.
which have happened,
Hmm.
and they judge you based on your potential and give you opportunity.
Hmm.
So there are good people around, and I was fortunate to have
Hmm.
one.
Hmm.
However, I think there are many like mentees who have shared their stories where it has not been that good,
Yeah.
right? And also depends on who is the other receiving end, who's receiving you,
Hmm.
right? And they how they are behaving
Hmm.
towards your change,
Hmm.
right? It's a change,
Yeah.
right? You are going from a single individual to a motherhood, which is in itself a journey,
Yeah.
right? So, what can be done in this situation? When I think back, one thing what we can do is firstly have that belief that even though you are mother, you are still capable of doing certain things which um, uh, you were doing before.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So that belief should be there
Hmm.
when you come from the maternity.
Hmm.
And like I said, if you show that confidence to the other persons also start believing in you.
Hmm.
For me, like I said, my maternity, I was double charged when I went back because I got that big break, right? And be very fortunate that we are getting that break because it gives you so much of that relaxed time. And of course, you go through that motherhood journey where there are sleepless nights and all that. But at the same time, it can make it worse if you don't manage well your maternity and go back. Backfire. So I always see that am I taking complete support during my maternity leave, where I am given my time? I had my mother taking care of. If people don't have parents to take care of, you can take that complete, hire a person or a nanny who can completely take care when you need your me time, right? If you are going, right? We cannot even go to have a bath or go to loo also sometimes and eat food because baby always demands, right? That's a crucial, and that's a phase where you need rest. You need to rejuvenate, right? So even the person is working or not working, you need a support system at that, and that's a given. Even in animal tribes, other animals help when there is a small baby. There are many people too. Many animals also take care of that baby. It's so fascinating to see that. And but we as humans are not doing that. We have become nuclear. We are not asking for help. We are not taking help. But the thing is, we need help. right? And that period you need to make sure that you are giving yourself good care, and your baby you are giving everything that is needed, because it's a crucial time. You need to breastfeed, you need to do all the things which are required to do. Also, you need to start planning when you go back after maternity. How are you going to deal with the additional responsibility you have got? Many are not preparing themselves to do that, right? And many are going with the same old struggle. They are struggling in motherhood, they are struggling in maternity phase, and then they go with all the struggles. And what is the going to be the outcome? Right? We need to be smart enough to develop the ecosystem of taking care, and you're not worrying about many. I used to see that, many women at the workplace but worrying about whether my baby is safe, whether it's so they're not giving 100% there also. So it's our also responsibility to prepare for the after coming as well, as much as being in maternity. How will you plan to prepare for? Second is, again, I have told you, the ecosystem. You should be ready for a woman who's coming with so much of additional responsibilities. She's already taken up. She's not going to be superwoman to take up everything and be directly. How to be sensitive about things, and how to give her time and space, and to regain herself and work towards it. And that comes with a lot of education, and we discussed what can be immediately the people can do. Is that to organization can set up an education and awareness how a mother feels after coming to, and what she has already gone through. That cycle needs to be explained to the men colleagues as well, so that everyone can support. And I myself do it in my team. I train my men team members to how to handle someone who's going to maternity, how they can support as colleagues, and they have done beautifully, and I have got great testimonials from my own team members who have gone through maternity. They have got immense support. And I think that is where more and more things can happen, when more women are there in the workplace, and they are educating other people also, and organization promoting that education, right? So both the things will make maternity really good phase.
Awesome. That's actually very important points, and I think every woman should do her part, and organizations should also pitch in.
Yeah. And in fact, many men also think that, okay, they have a lot of assumptions. She's coming, she may not have, we have seen so many cases, right? The woman is ready to take up opportunity, but they might assume that they are still healing. So we shouldn't be giving too much load, right? And at the same case, I have seen the reverse also, where women need some space to catch up to the momentum, where men may think, okay, she's ready. So this kind of discussions are very crucial to have, whether you are at what place you are, what support you need for me to come to that level, what opportunities you want. All these candid discussions can happen when the ecosystem is being educated or made aware of all these things.
That's true.
So these small things matter a lot.
That's true. Right. So coming to the last, section of the questions. So do you think, the honeymoon period of Indian IT industry is over, with AI coming into a picture, with global layoffs happening? What's your view?
You know what? When the similar situation happened, when typewriters, there were jobs, a lot of job of typewriting, if you remember, right? And when the computers came in, all the typewriting jobs went away, right? But what happened? Did everyone become jobless?
Oh, no.
No, right? The ones who have picked up the computer skills from the typewriter, they were in fact upgraded to something as a, I don't know what they were called initially, like computer analyst or something like that, right? And they were upgraded. They were given more salaries. One who is learning, constantly learning, and constantly being adapting to changes have always benefited from the changes.
Hmm.
And AI is no different.
Yeah.
AI is not different. If you are training yourself to better use AI to your benefit, you will be upgraded sooner. But if you allow AI to not be your friend and you see it as a threat,
Yeah.
you'll never learn it. Right? So I think we should always see, I always give this typewriter to computer transition, because I have seen it when I was growing up. Right? The same transition I would see in AI. More quicker you learn how AI can help you, and many are using AI today in day-to-day lives also.
Yeah.
Comes an easy transition. So I think learning mindset and changing to and being adaptive to the environment, changing environment can help you grow faster, or help you adopt faster.
Right. So before we close, I'm the entire discussion that we just had, and listening to your journey, what is very clear is that, leadership for women is not just about the titles or the promotions. It is about the resilience, it is about the mindset, it is about those navigating those invisible expectations, right? And rewriting the old rules, breaking some rules and making new rules, right? And in doing so, women like you are not only building careers, but you are paving the path for the generations to come, right? And like we discussed, that there will be some time in the future when this whole discussion will not need to happen.
Yeah.
Men and women, right? It will be not a unique exception. It will be a norm that women are in the workplace, right? So if you had to leave one message for the next generation of ambitious women who are ready to rise, but they are holding back due to some fear or doubt or social conditioning, what would be that one message?
I would say, if you unapologetically follow your dreams and go for it, is something which will take you long way, right? And work hard and hardest for that. You shouldn't be something which we should be not like very casual in terms of you thinking something and you one day think that, okay, I will achieve it. You relentlessly go for it, and slowly you will see that your dreams are coming true. And I definitely would wish every woman to go for it, and you deserve it, and you will be able to do it. So that's the message.
Thank you so much, Deepthi. Thank you for your time. Thank you for such valuable insights. I think anyone listening to this, podcast will be able to get so much wisdom, clear roadmap how they can grow at different stages, whether they are at entry level, whether they are at the mid leadership level. They will understand what they can do, how they can leverage, and what is the right mindset. Because I think everything begins with the right mindset, like you have pointed out again and again. The right mindset women need to grow in their career. And I hope people will find a lot of value, and we will keep having these conversations. We will have more of these conversations with you in the future as well. So thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for the invite, and I would like to congratulate and appreciate your efforts too, Ritu, because this is a very good cause you have started, and I'm sure this podcast will help so many women out there, and we need more such podcasts. And thank you for initiating this podcast, and I would love to see many women coming forward, and we are doing what we can do from our side. So I'm grateful to be part of this. And thank you so much, Ritu.
Thank you so much. See you soon. Thank you so much for joining us today in this empowering conversation. If this episode resonated with you and you are ready to get promoted faster without burnout, I invite you to join the waitlist for my Career Accelerator program for women. This isn't just another career course. It's a unique blend of mindset shifts and actionable strategies, where you will be personally coached by me and guided by inspiring industry leaders like Deepthi and others. Together, we'll work through the 6 pillars of career success to help you achieve more by doing less and step into your next promotion with confidence and balance. There are only 25 seats and they fill up fast. So register now to join the waitlist. And when you do, you will also get free access to my 5-day email crash course. Get seen, get promoted, get paid to kickstart your journey right away. The link is in the description below. Until next time, keep believing in your brilliance and remember, you don't have to do it alone. Let's rise together.